If you're trying to find and recruit IT professionals, I have 5 tips for you today. All right, my name is Michael. I'm the co-founder of the Tech Recruitment Academy, and people often ask me how to start finding and recruiting IT professionals. So if you work in the tech industry or if you would like to get into the tech industry, then listen to these 5 tips, okay? They can save you lots of time. So the tip number 1 is for you to start using LinkedIn Recruiter Lite or LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So if you don't know yet, LinkedIn has different versions of their software, okay? So you most likely use the free version of LinkedIn to connect with friends and colleagues and schoolmates, but they also have the premium version for recruiters, specifically for the purpose of finding candidates, okay? You can organize projects, you can look for people based on their skills. So the LinkedIn Recruiter version is much more tailored towards finding candidates based on certain parameters, okay? For example, years of experience. And then they also have LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which is a slightly different version of LinkedIn, usually used by sales professionals and business development managers. But also you can find candidates with LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So the difference between those two is in how they organize the project. So imagine you are a business development manager. You would use Sales Navigator to look for leads and companies and accounts. Okay, so they have different search parameters and search criteria on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. But you can also use it to find candidates. For example, I used LinkedIn Sales Navigator to look for CTOs and VP of engineering because you can look for decision makers based on industries. Okay, so I was able to look for people who work in the IT industry, so the technology companies, startups, and I was looking for technical decision makers. So that's very cool when it comes to LinkedIn Sales Navigator. You can also use LinkedIn Recruiter Lite, the version that costs about $150 per month. You can use it to look for people based on their skills and years of experience in the industry. Okay, so if you haven't used these premium versions, go for it. Activate those. They even have free trials, so you can just experiment, and within the first 30 days, probably you can find the first candidate who would be placed, and then you use the commission to activate the premium version. My tip number 2 is for you to start using advanced Boolean queries. So, I have a son and he's 10 years old. He could also just open Google or LinkedIn and type front-end developer, and he would find some people, right? But that's the kind of easy and kind of lame way to look for IT professionals. Okay, you would find some people, but you are just scratching the surface with this type of a search, okay? You can use much more advanced search strategies. You can combine different keywords. You can use alternative keywords, which we will get to in a minute. You can combine search filters and then come up with a very cohesive search, very advanced search that would tailor to who you are looking for. So as an example, if you are looking for a front-end developer, don't just type in the search bar front-end developer. You can come up with a Boolean search which, for example, combines the keywords front-end or front-end with space or front-end with dash, which lots of professionals use on their LinkedIn profiles, and you combine it with the synonyms for the word developer. So for example, developer or engineer or programmer, or maybe you search for candidates in Germany or Austria, so you can use the local keyword, which is Entwickler. Or in the Czech Republic, for example, it would be Vývojář. Okay, so you can come up with the very advanced search that combines all of these alternatives, and this way you can expand your search and the talent pool as a result. My tip number 3 for you to expand the talent pool would be to use alternatives. I mentioned a few synonyms just a while ago, so you can go deeper, okay? So as an example, the front-end framework React is very popular these days, but its previous name, before it was kind of rebranded, was React.js. Lots of people on their profiles use the old version of this name, okay, React.js. lots of people also use just React.js on their profiles. So if you stick to just the word React, you would find just a segment of those front-end developers who use React framework. Instead, you can come up with a Boolean search which combines React or React.js or React.js without the dot, okay? And this way you can expand the search, because there are, let's say, 80% of people who have just the word React, then there are another 15% of people who have React.js, and another 5% of people who have React.js together. So if you omit some of these alternatives, you can lose a significant part of the talent pool, and that's not what you want, right? My tip number 4 for you is to experiment with GitHub. I know it may sound difficult, GitHub is not built for recruiters, so it's not very user-friendly, it's a tool for software engineers to store code, but they all have the profiles on GitHub. And not all, but I'm exaggerating a bit, but lots of people use either GitHub or GitLab or Bitbucket. So a large portion of software engineers use GitHub, which is one of the top 3 tools. And you, as the recruiter or talent acquisition specialist or HR manager, you can just create the account on GitHub and look for people based on the technology they use. So it's not like LinkedIn where people type anything, I can also put to my LinkedIn profile that I use TypeScript, which I haven't really used, but I can just write it there, right? But on GitHub, a software engineer submits code, and then the tools, GitHub, determines what programming language is the code written in. And then based on that information, you can find people. Okay, so this is more accurate because GitHub analyzes the code that someone submits. Okay, so you can use it to find people based on their programming languages used and code submitted, which is very, very cool. I used it, for example, when we were looking for a video encoding specialist for a client based in San Francisco. We were looking for people who are working either from the United States or from Europe. We were able to get their contact details. We emailed them a sequence of emails. They responded. They were surprised how accurate our search is. So this is very cool. I can only recommend you to start experimenting with GitHub. If you don't know how to use it yet, well then join the Tech Recruitment Academy and you will learn step by step. My tip number 5 for you today is to start using marketing funnels to get in front of the IT professionals. If you are trying to find the software engineers, web developers, for example, backend developers, Java, C#, or maybe front-end developers, or maybe full-stack Java developers, you can launch ads on Instagram or Facebook where these people frequently hang around, and you can target them with a message such as, are you a C# full-stack developer and would you like to start working for a new startup, new funded startup, for example? Click here to learn more. Then these people land on your website where you can explain them what a cool opportunity this is. You can highlight a few aspects of the product or the project or the team, how awesome the team is, what a unique opportunity it is to join the team, what kind of challenges they work on, what is their mission. Okay, so get them excited. Approach it from the marketing standpoint, okay? You are selling them on the opportunity to join the team, and then have an opt-in form to gather their contact details and eventually follow up with them later. This is also a strategy we've been using since, 4 years ago. We used it, for example, to find real qualified candidates for a VP of engineering role, where we were targeting people who wanted or considered relocating to the Caribbean. Okay, so we were targeting people who were based in Europe, and we told them, hey, would you like to relocate to one of the most beautiful islands in the Caribbean? Would you like to manage a team of 50 people? Would you like to become a CTO of this company? Click here to learn more. And they were super excited. We had calls with awesome candidates. Okay, and this is just one of many. So if you would like to expand your talent pool, if you don't want to keep messaging people on LinkedIn every day, all day long, then experiment with these marketing funnels. So overall, if you would like to get into IT recruiting, if you would like to become a confident IT recruiter, you may want to join the Tech Recruitment Academy, because that's what we do, right? We help people who have no IT background, people who have never been working as IT professionals, to be able to find IT professionals to join their companies. So if you would like to learn new tips and tricks, then join the Tech Recruitment Academy.